What's going on, guys? So in front of you, you were looking at one really cool product. I've already opened it, but this is what the box looks like. And this is the new eTrailer anti-rattle hitch collar. Now, if you've watched my channel for a few weeks, you've probably seen the video I recently did on anti-rattle hitch collars. I featured one from Blue Ox, one from Gen Y, and one from B&W, and I showed you the differences and how they functioned and their perks. Basically, it immobilizes the movement of the shank in the receiver of your vehicle to prevent it from moving around and bouncing around, creating noise, possibly creating extra wear and tear. And there were folks that left a comment saying, did you know that your channel sponsor has their own and it's pretty awesome and game-changing, and I'm surprised you haven't done anything on it? Well, the reality behind it is I couldn't, because that was a pre-production product some people received. If you've been a long-time eTrailer customer, you may have been asked to evaluate it and see what you think about it, but they have now released it and I can talk about it. I saw this product when it was just in development, when they just had kind of like a raw alpha version of it out, and the head engineer at eTrailer demonstrated how it worked and how it was supposed to work. And it was cool then. And now it's even cooler now that it's actually been released. So let's go ahead and unbox this and talk about it. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so what you're looking at in front of you is the new anti-rattle hitch collar from eTrailer. This thing is super cool. The instructions are really clear, but it's also a lot of common sense kind of baked into it. This is designed to work with a 2-inch shank for 2-inch receivers. So they don't have one released yet for 2.5 or 3-inch. Sorry if you're hearing noise, it's windy outside. My garage doors are making a bunch of noise in the wind. Wish they made an anti-rattle device for my garage doors. That said, for 2-inch shank, and the way this works is pretty awesome. Now, just from an engineering and tooling perspective, check this thing out. This is really well designed. I mean, the machining in this is absolutely fantastic. And the design here is game-changing. No one else has done this before. So, first of all, they wanted to create an anti-rattle sleeve or hitch adapter that was very universal with just about any application you might have for the correct shank size, of course. And what they did was give you these adjustable wings right here. I don't know if they have a different name for them. Let's see what they call them. Hitch clamp. So basically, when you put this around the rear receiver, regardless of how big that flange material is on your vehicle, and we'll demonstrate this here in a second, you have the ability to adjust these in or out to match the size of the specific flange that you have on your vehicle. That is really cool, which means that this turns into a product that you can leave on your vehicle even if you take the hitch out of your vehicle. That is awesome. What do I mean by that? Once you clamp this onto the flange and you tighten it down, this stays on your vehicle. Then you simply put the shank into this, it slides through it into the receiver of your vehicle, you tighten this down, this pulls this piece of steel, it looks like grade 8 steel, but it pulls this piece of steel down and it tightens it against the bottom part of your receiver. So it creates that downward pressure that you're looking for its anti-rattle effect. That is awesome. I mean, this is a really game-changing design, and it's something that I think a lot of people would like because, again, you don't have to take it on and off with your hitch. You can leave it on the vehicle, and then whenever you need to put the hitch in, you simply tighten it down, because these portions right here will already be tightened down to the flange of the receiver of your vehicle. Anyways, enough talking about it. Let's go out and demonstrate this thing working. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you have a multi-pro tailgate on either the GMC or Chevy trucks, it's not going to work if you have the B&W hitch specifically designed for it. The reason why is because if you look at how the shank actually works with this hitch, get you better lighting here if I can, you can see it actually goes into the back right here, which is going to prevent you from being able to put the collar on here because the collar does rest on this portion of your receiver. So again, if you use this specific product from B&W, it's not going to function because you're not going to have the ability for it to actually clamp to the shank material. So just keep that in mind. There may be some other hitches that don't have the distance coming out of here for this to work as well. So you just want to be sure that if your hitch rests really close here before there's a drop off or before you have a lower ball mount, this may not fit as well. But for the vast majority of hitches on the market, this should fit no problem at all. So we have it right here. They even put a little stop right there. But when you look at the actual anti-rattle clamp and the way it's designed, thankfully these wings are adjustable right here, these side clamps, because if they weren't, you might have a flange on the back of your receiver that doesn't allow this to actually work the way it's supposed to. But because they're adjustable, I can adjust them out, simply slide it over. I can kind of hand tighten them at first to get it in place, and then use the included Allen key to just continue to tighten this in place. And this is why this is a permanent device for you. You don't have to constantly take it off and put it back on every time you're going to be towing or every time you have the hitch in the back. So now it's clamped in place. All I have to do is take my shank, again, it won't work with the B&W in this case, take my shank, put it in place, put the pin in place like this, and you can see that there's quite a bit of play. I mean, this is a Reese product in the back, and there's still a tremendous amount of play there. And now all we have to do is tighten this little handle on the bottom. Wait, is that not cool? I mean, that is a brilliant design, and it works really, really well. It really clamps down well against the flange on the receiver, and with the anti-rattle device pulling down on it, it prevents your hitch from rattling. That is one absolutely brilliant solution from the folks over at eTrailer. Great idea, great design, great engineering, and great function. That is really cool. So what do you guys think? This is a pretty cool game-changing product if you've been looking for an anti-rattle device that you don't always have to remove off of your vehicle. Really nice. This turns really, really easily. And again, it gives you a lot of capability to have an anti-rattle device that can live on your actual truck that you don't have to remove every time you remove your hitch. But I don't know the price on this yet. This is still actually pre-release when I shot this video. I'll put a link in the description of this video if this is something you may be interested in, because when you click on the link, it'll give you the current price of it. All right, so fair question if you're asking it. Why did I use this in this video when I have so many different hitches I could have gone to? Well, it's a fair question, and the reason is because we actually have a 2-inch receiver on the back of our E-Z-GO golf cart. And unfortunately, this thing rattles like you wouldn't even imagine. So I always end up taking it out because it rattles so much whenever my wife's driving the golf cart. So it solves a problem for that as well, because it fits around the 2-inch receiver that is on the golf cart. And yes, I'll throw a pin in here in a minute. And if you actually see that, I mean, this thing bounces around a ton inside of this receiver. But now, holes lined up, check this out. I can have my 2-inch ball on here because my wife always wants it off because it makes so much noise. No noise at all anymore. That is really cool, and that is another great use of this if you have a ATV or something else with a receiver, and you always take the hitch out because it bounces around so much inside of the shank. But now, as quiet as can be, we're in good shape. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed this video. I don't have pricing on this yet, but by the time you see this video, I will have a link in the description so you can click on it and head on over to eTrailer and pick one up, and you'll know exactly what the pricing is. It's not going to be as expensive as some people might think. I think it's going to be a lot more affordable than you might think. I do know a roundabout range, but I don't want to talk about it yet because I don't know for sure, and I don't want to give you all wrong information. So just head over to the link in the description, check it out. They'll have more information on it. If you have any questions, they may even have answers to your questions. Again, really cool product from my channel sponsor, eTrailer.com, and they knocked it out of the park with this one. But I'd love to know your thoughts as well. Drop a comment below. Anyways, guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.